If you ever wanted to crystallise the overall weakness of Anthony Albanese and see his political cynicism in stark relief, then it was there for all to see on the weekend. This bloke is the opposite of a conviction politician. There is no moral clarity, no standing up on national values or for the national interest, just a spineless effort to go with the green left zeitgeist. And like the lifelong socialist left activist that he is, Albo has a sharp political nose, not for national leadership, but for seeking votes where he needs them most. In this case, he revealed himself through his reaction to complaints about the conduct of New South Wales police last week when they moved on protesters at that violent Sydney rally targeting the visit by Israel's President Isaac Herzog. In particular, police were criticised for forcibly moving Muslim protesters who had decided to begin their prayers in the middle of the protest mayhem. Most people can see what's going on here. They'd probably agree with my view that the protesters were having a lend of the situation. I mean, they were free to pray anywhere they liked, but chose to do so at a protest when police were trying to disperse the crowd. Anyway, you've probably heard about the complaints all this generated, you know, the outrage it was designed to create. And our own Prime Minister, no less, joined in, criticising not the protesters, but instead saying the police had questions to answer.
I am concerned. I'm concerned that the great deal of hurt which the Muslim community are feeling about the disruption of prayers, I understand that, and I think that is something that needs a full explanation. I know that that has caused a great deal of distress. I want to see an explanation. I'm very empathetic about the hurt that's being felt by the Muslim community of prayers being disrupted.
Yes. Come in, Spinner. Now, I want to contrast the PM's reaction to two other important political responses, and I'll show you one of the Muslim activists whose narrative Albo's response plays into. First, the contrasts. You heard the Prime Minister demanding explanations about the police actions. But just weeks ago, this Prime Minister was rejecting a royal commission into the alleged Islamist terrorist massacre of 15 people at a Hanukkah event at Bondi. Yeah, remember, he actually opposed a royal commission.
The idea that we would have multiple royal commissions as well as a review running at the same time is going to simply delay action.
He later changed his mind, of course, after relentless pressure. But he rejected a royal commission, yet now he's demanding all the answers from the New South Wales police. Now he wants an inquiry into police behaviour because they dared to move Muslim protesters who decided to pray. The other contrast I want to draw is with another Labor politician, New South Wales Premier Chris Minns. This is a political leader who has conviction and stands by the rule of law and the public good rather than grievances and protesters.
There is no suggestion under any circumstances that police would have wanted to cause offence to the people praying or get in the way of people lawfully exercising their religion. Context is important here, and the circumstances facing New South Wales Police was incredibly difficult. It was in effect in the middle of a riot.
Chalk and cheese. Unfortunately, the strong one is only running a state. The weak one is running this country. This sort of Muslim grievance and victimhood is actually central in the narrative of Islamist extremism. So nobody should needlessly encourage it. I mean, the idea that after the killing of innocents at Bondi, more than 2 years of vicious and sometimes violent anti-Semitism in this country, and an ongoing situation that demands armed guards at Jewish schools and synagogues, and traffic barriers installed in recent weeks outside those places as well. Well, the idea that after all this, it is the nation's million-strong Muslim population that are the victims, well, it's frankly insulting. So let me show you how this sort of response from Albanese plays into the victimhood narrative of one prominent Muslim voice. Here is Sheikh Ibrahim Dadoun preaching recently in Sydney.
This government in Australia has invited this criminal and has laid out the red carpets for this person. We will continue to pressure the government. And if they do not rescind this invitation, then we will be, as one body, protesting such a visit. In a country like ours, where we are struggling with quote-unquote social cohesion, Anthony Albanese found it within his remit to increase social cohesion, ironically and sarcastically, by bringing this war criminal into Australia. And so you and I, we have a moral duty to protest this war criminal entering our country.
Urging protest, telling lies that brand Herzog as a war criminal, yet daring to raise the idea of social cohesion. Dadoun was at last week's Sydney Town Hall protest too, and here's what he had to say afterwards.
Some quick reflections. I just got home from the protest. Today, what we've seen is unprecedented in our city. We have a war criminal that's now touched down in Sydney, and the red carpet has been laid out to him. Not only has this war criminal made it into Sydney, but he's also brought the Israeli-style police brutality into New South Wales Police and into Sydney specifically.
Again with the slurs against the police. Not just police brutality, but ridiculous attempts to liken it to Israeli-style policing, as if that's some kind of slur, I guess. But listen to his take on the protesters who decided to start their prayers.
We also saw some horrifying images of New South Wales Police dragging our Muslim brothers who were praying. Now, this is Israeli-style policing, Israeli-style police brutality imported into our city. This is not social cohesion.
Yeah, predictably, Dadoun attacks the police over this episode. So he will be well pleased that none other than the Prime Minister of this nation has also run with this narrative too, demanding a police explanation. And again, Dadoun spoke about social cohesion. Let me remind you about how much this preacher cares for social cohesion. Remember what he said on a Sydney street the day after nearly 1,500 Israeli men, women and children were killed, tortured, defiled or kidnapped by Hamas and its Gazan supporters on October the 7th, 2023.
I'm smiling and I'm happy. I'm elated. It's a day of courage.
No matter how many times I see that, it sickens me to the core. It shows just how difficult it will be to rebuild social cohesion in this country. And it worries me greatly that this preacher can draw comfort from Anthony Albanese's comments, casting doubts over the police rather than the protesters. It's a great worry that our Prime Minister's take on this protest will give more comfort to someone like Dadoun than they will to the majority of mainstream Australians.